This is ABC7 News at 7, your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
We did our job, and we are proud of what we've accomplished.
People take it for granted, but freedom really isn't free. People gave up their youth. People gave up their lives.
Veterans Day, and across the Suncoast, we are celebrating our men and women in uniform. But when the streets clear and the day has passed, we need to ask, are we truly giving our veterans the care they need? Tonight, we look into what's working and what is not when it comes to giving our veterans the care they deserve. Good evening, everyone. I'm Alan Cohn, and welcome to ABC 7 at 7. We'll speak with veterans, advocates, and representatives from the VA later in our broadcast. But first, our top 7 stories at 7. And we begin tonight at Sarasota's National Cemetery, where hundreds are gathered at Patriot Plaza to honor our veterans. Bishop Frank Duane led the service at the National Cemetery on Clark Road. Among those in attendance, Jeanette Gray, whose husband passed away just a few months ago. He was a Marine in Vietnam who earned a Purple Heart.
My husband served for our country, and he is buried here right now. He passed away in June, and I'm here to honor all the men and women that served for our country. My heart goes out to all of them.
The bishop said he was humbled to celebrate the Mass on Veterans Day at the National Cemetery. A Florida university is being praised as a top choice for our veterans. Military Time magazine is naming the University of South Florida as the best four-year college in the United States for veterans. The school ranks number 2 on the overall list. The publication reports USF's student veterans are among the most successful in making the transition from the military to college. There are nearly 1,600 students at the school. Here locally, Sarasota High is showing its pride for veterans, decorating the entire school with red, white, and blue stripes. American flags hung from almost every balcony and dotted the fields. Smaller flags decorated the front lawn of the school. We now know the fate of 80-plus voter challenges made against Anna Marie Island residents. Former City Commissioner Charles Webb fielded a challenge against 82 registered voters and 16 mail-in voters, saying they were not residents of the area. Now, Manatee County's canvassing board is upholding 2 of the 98 challenges. The remaining votes were counted.
If you have a good reason to challenge someone's vote, there are procedures and methods for you to do that correctly. But in this situation, there is no reasoning for it.
The election should be the intent of the people who are allowed to vote in Anna Maria. Because someone from New York feels like they should be able to vote here, but they don't reside here, I'm sorry, you don't get to vote. You're not a resident.
The attorney for the voters is filing a complaint with the state's attorney's office, hoping to bring misdemeanor charges against the former commissioner. Impact fees in Sarasota are expected to increase next year to the highest level allowed. This week, county commissioners approved the increase, which will take effect in April. It is the first time rates have changed in nearly a decade. Developers will now have to pay an average fee of $1,600 for building a new home. Those funds will help pay for new roads, schools, and other improvements within the county. It sounded like a good idea. Plans to redevelop the former Manatee County Jail into affordable housing are being scrapped. Developer Bernard Grogan tells us he decided to withdraw his proposal because of the opposition from Manatee County Sheriff Brad Stubbe. Grogan has made the only proposal for the 80,000 square foot building, which has been vacant for the past decade. He told ABC7 he has no confidence the county would approve his plan. Sculptors from around the world are gathering on Siesta Key this weekend to create works of art in our renowned shimmering sand. The 7th annual Siesta Key Crystal Classic is underway tonight and will run through Tuesday. Organizers are anticipating 55,000 spectators. 14 teams of artists are taking part, some coming from the Czech Republic, the Netherlands, Lithuania, and Bulgaria. A winner will be announced at 3 o'clock on Sunday. Now for our check on our weather, let's go to ABC7 Chief Meteorologist Steve Newman. Steve.
I appreciate that. We also have a chance of rain on Monday and Tuesday, Monday and Tuesday, but over the weekend, those sands will remain intact. They're going to be beautiful because the weather's not going to interfere with it. It was a great day today. We had some high clouds passing by from time to time, but sunny skies were the rule over the Suncoast, and they'll be that way for the next couple of days as well. Currently at Sarasota Bradenton Airport at 69, dew point 57. Very comfortable with humidity 65%. Our high this afternoon and low this morning were all within a couple of degrees of normal. It's been as cool as 40 back in 1956. We can see a generally northerly winds, variable from the north, northeast, northwest. It's going to stay that way, and that cold front you see to the north will get here on Monday and Tuesday, bringing us about a 50% chance of showers. But until then, a high cloud from time to time, a gentle northerly wind, plenty of sunshine, temperatures near perfect. Here's our rapid refresh model futurecast. It only goes out about 12 hours, and you can see overnight there could be some occasional high cloud passing by, and the winds will remain from the north, but a little variable too. And by 7 a.m. tomorrow morning, as the sun comes up, it should still remain beautiful. Here's a forecast for tonight. It'll be clear and fresh with our overnight low temperature 58, a little cooler than normal. We don't get a chance to say that very often, and winds will become calm overnight. And here is the 7-day outlook showing that 50% chance of rain on Monday and Tuesday as that cold front comes and sags southward right over the Suncoast. But it's only a 50% chance, and we need it because we've got to water the lawn one way or the other.
Absolutely, we'll take it. Thanks a lot, Steve. And still to come, the Suncoast comes together to honor our veterans. We'll have a look at how we're celebrating our servicemen and women when we come back.
The all-new mysuncoast.com. Just another way we're here for you.
This is a special health alert for seniors suffering with joint pain. If you have Medicare insurance, you may qualify for high-quality support braces at little or no cost.
I'm thrilled with my knee braces.
Now, there is a simple and proven solution for seniors to get out of pain with state-of-the-art support braces.
I barely feel any pain at all.
Braces for your knees and back, as well as your shoulders and ankles, too.
I'm so happy with the quality of these braces.
Call now, and you could qualify for a pain-relieving brace at little or no cost.
I can play ball again, and it doesn't hurt.
And because of my Medicare coverage, it costs me next to nothing.
So call now.
And because I have this red, white, and blue Medicare card, my braces have cost me just about nothing.
It's true. You may get a knee, back, shoulder, and ankle brace at little or no cost.
They qualified me for 2 knee braces and a back brace.
If you have knee or back pain, give them a call. They can help.
1-800-476-8967. 1-800-476-8967.
Using baby powder or talc may lead to ovarian cancer. $72 million was awarded in a recent talc lawsuit after lawyers found secret internal documents showing that the baby powder manufacturer knew about the link between talcum powder and ovarian cancer for decades, but never told the public. If you were diagnosed with ovarian cancer after using talcum powder on a regular basis, you may qualify for a cash award. Call 800-793-6621. 800-793-6621.
Batteries Plus bulbs keep stacks of batteries for cars, cell phones, watches, plus light bulbs for lamps, can lights, and appliances right on hand. Did I mention we also repair smartphones? Batteries Plus bulbs. Trust the plus. Visit Batteries Plus bulbs today.
Is your old garage door stuck or broken? Would a new one give you a lift? Let Precision Door Overhead Garage Door Service of Sarasota come to the rescue with prompt and affordable repair service. Replacement doors come with an array of styles and colors, and they are rated to meet and exceed Florida standards. From estimates to installation, your satisfaction is our priority. If you're not 100% satisfied with any product, service, or installation, we will make it right, because Precision Door Service is a name you can trust.
Veterans Day, it is a chance to show our appreciation to our men and women who put on the uniform to defend our country. Here on the Suncoast, it has been a day of parades across Sarasota and Manatee. ABC7's Rick Adams brings us the highlights.
Well, everybody loves a good parade, and this is a great one here in Sarasota. We're remembering all those who fought for our country. Thousands of folks were showing off their patriotic spirit in the streets of downtown Sarasota and Palmetto here on this Veterans Day.
This is more about the guys that didn't make it back. This is a Veterans Day. This helps me remember how and why I got my freedom.
Woody Brewer served in the Navy for 21 years. He tells us he's thrilled to be a spectator at this year's Sarasota parade.
Some parades I ride in, some parades I watch. I like to watch more, though.
The atmosphere was festive and filled with a lot of pomp and circumstance. It brought out large crowds, including Lee Anza and her 3-year-old son. She says many people in her family have served or are currently serving.
Very, very important. I mean, these people go out every day risking their lives for us, so we're safe, and it's just nice to show our support.
In Manatee County, the parade started at the fairgrounds in Palmetto and ended up at Sutton Park. Congressman Vern Buchanan was one of the dignitaries showing his support.
We need to do more for our veterans. We do spend $200 billion a year, but we got to make sure those dollars work in a better way for our veterans.
People from all over Manatee County lined the streets to show their appreciation for the sacrifices veterans have made.
We just need to honor them more and show them a lot of respect that they haven't got.
Army veteran Gil Ruderman has extra reason to be proud. He is Manatee County's Veteran of the Year.
We did our job, and we are proud of what we've accomplished.
12-year-old Bradenton Boy Scout Alex was enjoying every moment of the Sarasota parade. His day includes a lot more than just sitting and watching the parade.
I'm going to be doing some Veterans Day service later today, so I want to see the parade before I do, though.
Well, the colors of the day are red, white, and blue. These festivities ended at 5 Points Park with a special ceremony. Reporting from downtown Sarasota, I'm Rick Adams, ABC7, your Suncoast News.
We're saluting our veterans today, but are we serving them once they come home? When we come back, we'll speak with an all-star panel of representatives who advocate for our servicemen and women.
Is your mop a dirty, disgusting mess? You need the Hurricane 360 Spin Mop System, the only mop and bucket that spins the dirt away. A system that cleans practically anything and everything with super absorbent microfiber. Dip it in the washer side and the mess releases into the bucket. Then place it in the dryer side and push on a pedal. You get a clean mop head that's practically dry and ready for more. And your hands will never again touch a dirty, disgusting mop. The heads are washable and reusable. Get the Hurricane 360 Spin Mop System for just 2 payments of $19.99. You'll also get a Sticky Buddy, the reusable sticky roller that picks up pet hair and lint and washes clean in seconds. You can take advantage of our 2-for-1 Pick It Up special and get a second spin mop set. Just pay additional shipping and fee. And we'll upgrade you to free priority handling. So don't wait. Order now.
Call 1-800-394-1524 to get your Hurricane Spin Mop double offer. So hurry and call 1-800-394-1524. Call now.
The official salon of ABC7. Cutting Loose Salon.
I knew I could get myself out of this. I just needed some hope and some help.
I took the first step to recovery when I made the call.
If you're depressed, drinking, and using drugs, you may need help.
And the Affordable Care Act guarantees coverage of substance abuse.
Call the Addiction, Hope, and Helpline now for a free assessment.
I had problems just getting to sleep, drinking and using pills every night.
I feel like I'm losing control. I'm afraid I'll lose my job or even my family.
Are you losing hope? You can recover and get back on track. Call now for hope and help with proven, gentle recovery programs.
I never thought that I could be somebody who didn't drink and use drugs.
I have something to hold on to for strength. I'm in recovery, getting the help I need.
Call the Addiction, Hope, and Helpline now for a free assessment with someone who cares.
Call 1-800-764-8708. That's 1-800-764-8708.
Welcome back. Today is Veterans Day, and there are many to honor. According to the U.S. Census Bureau, there are more than 21 million veterans in the U.S. Florida has the third largest veteran population with more than 1.6 million. That's 12% of the adult population. We also have the largest population of disabled veterans with just under 250,000. But are they getting the care they deserve? And joining us for more on our roundtable tonight is Sarasota Veteran Service Officer Stephen Garcia, Director of Veteran Services for the Goodwill of Minnesota, CJ Bannister, Public Affairs Officer for Bay Pines Veterans Administration, Jason Dangle, and Veterans Benefits Consultant, Jerry Zivic. And gentlemen, why don't we start with you, because you are handling the vets that are applying for veterans benefits and for who are trying to seek them. There's been so much talk in the last several years about the shortcomings of the VA at facilities elsewhere. Jason, have you seen an improvement over the news stories that have been out there over the last couple of years?
Well, Alan, I'm glad you asked that question. Over the last several years, the Bay Pines VA healthcare system has been making enormous strides, specifically in the areas of access. And when I talk about access, that's providing timely, accessible care to the veterans we serve. Just this year alone, we have activated new services for same-day audiology care, primary care. By the end of the year, we'll have same-day mental health care. And this is for non-urgent concerns, of course. If a veteran has an emergency situation, they can always visit the closest emergency room or pursue urgent care.
One of the hang-ups, or a number of the hang-ups, have been, I remember a report from, I believe, the IG a couple of months ago in terms of some of the files out of state and elsewhere, and there was some criticism of how they were stored. What's been the VA's reaction to that since?
Well, I work for the Veterans Health Administration, and when you're talking about files, paper files, we don't maintain paper files. We've had an electronic medical record in some form since the 80s. So I believe that's probably a report related to the Veterans Benefits Administration.
What about wait times? That has been the focus of so much of attention.
Well, I think the narrative has changed a lot. I think, in VA today, we're talking about transformation. We're talking about improvements. Just in 2016, fiscal year 2016, the Bay Pines VA healthcare system completed 1.5 million appointments. 98% of those appointments were completed within 30 days of the veteran's clinically indicated date. And just for some clarification, clinically indicated date is the date that your doctor says, hey, Alan, we want to see you back to the clinic. So, absolutely, we're making great progress there. Served over 108,000 veterans. And like I said, adding services, expanding services, and providing more options for care.
Jerry, you help so many veterans in our area get the benefits that they deserve. Are you seeing an improvement?
Well, I think a lot of times we focus on the negativity of the VA. And as Jason says, they do a lot of really good work. And before I go any further, I do want to thank all of you for the service you've given to our country, the sacrifices your families have made. And I feel honored to be able to sit here with you three tonight. So there has been a lot of progress. There's always progress to make. If one veteran, I think we all can agree with that, if one veteran's not getting the benefits that he or she deserves, there's something wrong.
You have talked in the past about some of the programs out there just to move the benefits and the application process along more efficiently. You talked about even Social Security and how it's trying new systems in order to help veterans in particular get the benefits.
Actually, it was interesting. Jason talked about the electronic records. Just this week, Social Security announced a new program where they have now access to the VA's electronic medical records. So if you're a veteran and you're applying for disability, Social Security disability, they now can access your records from the VA, and that should speed the process dramatically with Social Security for the vet.
And see, we've had you on this broadcast before talking about programs that work and don't work. There was a program that we talked about a couple of months ago, which you found was just complicated and time-consuming in terms of veterans getting the help. Has that improved since?
In the past few months, and I believe you're talking about the Veterans Choice Program. With the Veterans Choice Program, they have expanded many of their eligibility requirements to allow more veterans to be seen sooner. And I hear that they may end Veterans Choice Program, but invest that money elsewhere in the non-VA coordinated care.
And I can speak a little bit more about the Choice Program specifically. When the Choice Program was initiated a few years ago, it provided more options for veterans to receive care in the community, and that's through a third-party administrator, if you will.
Right.
So if we didn't have capacity or there was too long of a wait, for example, the veteran could opt into the program. Obviously, there had been some challenges. We're well aware of that across the country, not only in our healthcare system but elsewhere. So they've been making improvement efforts throughout, since the program launched, and they're working towards what we call provider agreements, which is more the traditional structure of what was provided previously. We've always provided non-VA care options or community care options to veterans, but now they're streamlining the Veterans Choice Program through these provider agreements. It's direct relationship between the VA and the community providers and giving them a more streamlined approach to that program.
And I want to talk in our next segment more about what's to come, because we're still having so many veterans leave the service after Iraq and Afghanistan, and I don't know if the full deluge of new veterans is hit the system yet. So I want to talk about that. But CJ, you work with veterans who in many ways are the most vulnerable. And what is the biggest challenge that they are facing right now?
Well, their biggest challenge typically is employment. And it's filling the gap, which we try to help do that. Even for me, when I got out, you immediately start losing, you lose your paycheck that you're used to for 8 years.
When was that?
In March of 2001. So for me, it's very near and dear to my heart because it was a struggle for me when I got out. I served for 8 years. And when I got out, I thought I had a fancy resume that would do well in the community.
And it didn't translate.
It didn't translate well at all. And so a lot of the veterans that show up, their resumes typically have a lot of codes in them that the civilian world probably doesn't understand. So we put them through additional classes and help rewrite their resume. We also help fill gaps where if a veteran walks through our door and they haven't found a job and it's been 3 months and they've got a family at home, and I had a Marine tell me his power was going to get shut off the next day, and so we were able to step in and fill that gap and help him with that, and then help him find employment.
Okay, I'm going to ask you in our next segment what more can be done for veterans who are in that position. But we have to take a break right now, and we'll be back with our roundtable. When we return, we'll share with you the stories of 2 veterans from the greatest generation here on the Suncoast.
Are you considering joint replacement or revision surgery? Consider this. Dr. Edward Stolarski has performed thousands of successful joint replacement procedures and trained surgeons from all over the world. Using advanced technologies, Dr. Stolarski is able to perform some of the most complex surgeries.
I wish I knew about Dr. Stolarski much sooner.
After the surgery, I don't have any pain. It's like I've got a 16-year-old hip.
My name's Ed Stolarski. What I really do is I give people back their life.
Schedule a consultation today.
I'm calling in regards about my mother, and I'm here, and I just want to thank you because it saved my mother's life yesterday. And I'd like to know the names of the people that came in and saved her so I could call and thank them. And she's doing fine. It's a wonderful thing. Thank you.
When you fall and cannot get up, an accident can turn into a tragedy. But with Life Alert, one touch of a button can get you help fast. Life Alert saves a person from a catastrophe every 10 minutes.
Life Alert is a lifesaver. If it weren't for Life Alert, I wouldn't be sitting here today.
For a free Life Alert brochure, call 1-800-652-3012. That's 1-800-652-3012. Call now, 1-800-652-3012. For a free brochure, call 1-800-652-3012.
You only have one life. Are you gambling with it? 1 in 3 adults have high blood pressure. Not knowing your numbers could cause you to lose, big time. Luckily, you can turn the odds in your favor by getting your blood pressure checked today. Don't leave your health to chance. Learn more at heart.org/HPV.
They care. They take the time to understand you, take the time to understand your case.
There's no better satisfaction to me than to see a client who is happy because of the job we've done for them.
It's really actually very comforting to know that there's someone that you've heard of and you're getting recommendations about that you can turn to when you have a problem.
I felt like I had a partner in this, and he was going to be by my side.
They are disappearing quickly now, the greatest generation, veterans of World War II. Right now, in one local neighborhood, a ceremony is being held to honor 2 veterans who had a chance to share their stories with ABC7's Kate Flexter.
On Veterans Day, Peter DeMar's kitchen table is covered in documents. To an outsider, it's just paper, but for him, each one is a vivid memory. At just 17 years old, he was a seaman in the Navy during World War II.
I didn't know what I was getting into. Being in the service is a totally different life than what you're leading, and especially to a young person that has no experience.
The most difficult memory? Visiting Nagasaki just weeks after it was all but demolished by the atomic bomb.
That stuck in my mind more than anything of the other experiences that I had in the service.
What he remembers the most is talking to the Japanese people that managed to survive.
Even though they were supposed to be the enemy, I'm looking at that young lady in a kimono, that's my enemy, you know.
Thousands of miles east in Germany, 19-year-old Private Edward Stackhouse was fighting the war on another front and ran into trouble in combat.
All of a sudden, all hell broke loose. Tanks were firing. Machine guns were going like boom, 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 boom.
That's when he became a prisoner of war. All he could think, he says, is of his family back home in Chicago who received this telegraph.
My dad was broken up real bad. He couldn't stop crying.
After 7 months as a prisoner of war, Stackhouse finally returned home. While Stackhouse and DeMar were worlds apart, they share one thing, an ability to look back on their experiences today with newfound clarity.
Sometimes you don't think about those things till you get to be my age and you're retired, and then those thoughts and everything start to appear, and they start to have a meaning, a feeling for one another.
At tonight's ceremony, each veteran will be receiving a signed letter from Governor Rick Scott. In Sarasota, Kate Flexter, ABC7, your Suncoast News.
We'll have more on serving our veterans, young and old, with our roundtable when we return.
I owed the IRS $10,000.
I owed the IRS $20,000.
The IRS garnished my wages.
They put a lien on my house.
The IRS is the most powerful collection agency in the world. They do not give up until you pay.
I couldn't sleep. We were being audited. I called Tax Solutions Now, and a great big weight was lifted off my shoulders.
I called Tax Solutions Now, and they got the IRS off my back.
Tax Solutions Now had my wage garnishment lifted in 48 hours.
Tax Solutions Now can get you help. Our agents know the rules, can stop the pain, and get you the best deal.
We saved our home and overcame the most powerful collection agency in the world.
We connect you with a team of former IRS agents and tax professionals who get the IRS off your back. Time is running out. Call Tax Solutions now.
Call 1-800-565-7740. That's 1-800-565-7740.
They're coming from Tampa, Fort Myers, even Orlando. They're coming from everywhere for the Sarasota Ford Promise. We promise we're more than a dealership. We're a destination with a movie theater, massage room, aquarium, cafe, and more. We promise to give you top dollar for your trade, even if you don't buy from us. And if you do, we promise you the best deal. Bring us any competitor's ad and we'll beat it by at least $1,000. That's why they're coming from everywhere to Sarasota Ford, where 41 meets 301. SarasotaFord.com.
On horrendously cold nights, on days when the rain has been relentless, or when the sun is beating down, there is an animal trapped with no protection, fighting to stay alive. Time is running out for them, but you can help save them by joining the ASPCA today. With your donation of just $18 a month, you'll help rescue abused and neglected animals, provide them with food, shelter, and medical care. When you go online or call in the next 10 minutes, we'll send you this free membership kit and our limited edition 150th anniversary t-shirt. It's just 60 cents a day to pull animals out of a terrible life. Don't let them suffer another day. Please help now.
Welcome back, and if you're just joining us, it is Veterans Day, and we are discussing how we can serve our men and women in uniform even better than we are. Our guests tonight include Sarasota Veteran Services Officer Stephen Garcia, Director of Veteran Services for Goodwill, Minnesota, C.J. Bannister, Public Affairs Officer for Bay Pines VA Health System, Jason Dangle, and Veterans Benefits Consultant Jerry Zivick. And let's start with where Kate's story left off, and that is the greatest generation. My dad was a member of one. Of it. They are leaving us at an increasing speed every single day. And Jason, among the patients that go to Bay Pines, how many are left, and how quickly is that diminishing?
Well, the Bay Pines VA healthcare system serves the largest number of World War II veterans for any VA healthcare system in the country. I believe that number is a little over 7,000. Back in 2012, just to give you an idea of how the population has changed, that number was over 12,000. So obviously this group of veterans, the greatest generation, is getting smaller. Many of them are in their 90s. In fact, had the opportunity to talk to a great World War II veteran who actually volunteers for our healthcare system every single day of the week, 96 years old. Second wave on the beach in Normandy. Battle of the Bulge, and provided 34,000 volunteer hours giving back to veterans, and still does today. So
what is the challenge dealing with patients from the World War II or even Korea and Vietnam eras as opposed to the younger vets from Iraq, Afghanistan, and our current conflicts?
That's a really good question, Alan. Obviously different generations of patients or veterans like to receive their care different ways. Their preferences are different. Obviously, World War II veterans like the more traditional settings, the traditional means of communication, letters, telephone calls, things like that. While the newer generation, they're more in tune to electronic communications, emails, utilizing the My Healthy Vet system, which is a system that we can securely communicate information back and forth with patients. So. It's based on communication, it's based on preferences, but across the generations you'll see differences.
Jerry, in my experience, and I've done these stories in our area for a lot of years now, one of the problems with elderly veterans is applying for VA benefits and being taken advantage of by certain companies that had been out there that claim that they can help you get benefits, but they're not registered with the VA. I know there's been some legislation both locally on the federal level to try to tie that up, but is it still out there?
There's always people trying to take advantage of veterans. The Justice Department, actually, on the federal level, has a huge task force. They're going after mortgage people, they're going after credit card companies, and each local district attorney has to have an assistant assigned to veterans issues. So they're very much aware of this issue.
That says a lot.
Yeah, it is.
And CJ and Stephen, you still are dealing with people, veterans from the greatest generation, and you have a smile on your face right now because I'm taking that you know people who really light up your heart.
For sure. The first thing that comes to mind is the last one that we were able to help. We received a frantic phone call from a World War II vet's son in Colorado who called us and said, "We were sent to you by Congressman Buchanan's office because I can't get a hold of my father. Can you send someone to his home to make sure he's okay?" And so we went there and he was totally fine. He just had knocked his phone off of the jack, and so it wasn't working for him. So we were able to actually go get a donated computer, and we set him up with Skype. So he now Skypes with his son in Colorado, and they're able to stay in contact.
That's incredible. And Stephen, are you also dealing with members of the older generation?
Absolutely. What our office does is when we're able to make home visits with these veterans at our, say if they're at assisted living facilities, nursing homes, at their homes, we're able to assist them coordinating their care with the VA, their health care with their VA. We can also help with the non-service connected wartime pension for veterans and their widows of wartime veterans that can pay up to $2,120 a month tax-free benefit to help them with their care. And so our job as veteran service officers for Sarasota, Manatee, and Charlotte counties is to go into their home or meet with them and make sure they're utilizing all their VA benefits to the highest potential, because that is just preparing them the greatest quality of life.
Let me ask all of you this now, and this is a sensitive subject, but we have more and more men and women who are leaving the military as they end their service after, Afghanistan and Iraq. The system is being deluged. Over the last 8 years, the VA has gotten a lot more funding, but it's never enough. And my experience is that a lot of members of Congress talk a good game, but they don't always appropriate a good game. And how much? And because on the flip side, some people will say money does not necessarily solve the problems, and organizationally there are reforms that have to be made. Is money a problem in terms of VA right now, or is it more of an organizational thing? And I see Stephen, you're trying to jump in.
Well, Alan, this is one that hits home with me because I got out of the Marine Corps March 2013, and I think conversations like what we're having here, right here, is very much needed. Not because we need to get out there to the veterans and their families. They don't know how to access their benefits that they're eligible for. They don't know who to go to. Currently, if you're in the process of getting out of the military, they have a SEPs and TAPs, a separation type of class that goes on for a week. But when they come home, they don't know where to go. And whenever, last week I just worked with a vet that just got out a few weeks ago. And when I sat there with him, I was able to get him in contact with people like CJ, with Jason at the VA, get them enrolled in their VA health care, process their VA disability compensation claim, and pretty much network with our community. And that's one huge, huge thing that needs to happen.
Yeah, and Stephen, I'm glad you brought that up because, it really does take a community. I think a lot of times people will point a finger at one organization or another, talk about money, talk about resources, but the bottom line is, working together like we're doing today is really a huge answer and a huge step in the right direction. So I just wanted to make that point.
Let me, this is a hot potato that I'm going to bring up, but that there have been suggestions in Washington by some members of Congress and some folks who ran for office to privatize the VA. Jerry, do you have a...
Well, actually, we might have a real unique opportunity now. Every politician, as we all know, talks about let's give our veterans the very best. And I don't think there's anybody anywhere that disputes that. But now we have a situation where we have one party basically in control of the executive branch, in control of the Congress. So maybe we can eliminate some of the normal political infighting and all row in the same direction to accomplish some systems changes and use our money wisely.
All right. We'll see what happens.
We will.
All right, we'll have to leave it there. We're going to take a quick break, and when we return, we'll have final thoughts from our guests, plus comments from our viewers on traffic concerns here on the Suncoast.
ABC7 News at 7, weeknights.
Christmas Traditions by Lux Art Silks, where more is merrier. Make your holidays sparkle with style. Browse our amazing showroom, cute collectible cottages, and beautiful Christmas displays. Find the inspiration, selection, and quality you need to deck the halls merry and bright. Christmas Traditions also features the area's largest selection of quality pre-lit Christmas trees, every size, shape, and color, and plenty of decorations to make your home shine for the holidays. Christmas Traditions by Lux Art Silks, where more is merrier. Visit us on New 301, just a quarter-mile north of University Parkway.
On horrendously cold nights, on days when the rain has been relentless, or when the sun is beating down, there is an animal trapped with no protection, fighting to stay alive. Time is running out for them, but you can help save them by joining the ASPCA today. With your donation of just $18 a month, you'll help rescue abused and neglected animals, provide them with food, shelter, and medical care. When you go online or call in the next 10 minutes, we'll send you this free membership kit and our limited edition 150th anniversary t-shirt. It's just 60 cents a day to pull animals out of a terrible life. Don't let them suffer another day. Please help now.
For your plumbing, electrical, or air conditioning, and services is qualified, and service calls are free. AndServices.com. AndServices.com.
Alex Karras Lincoln's holiday sales event is here. Drive a brand new 2017 Lincoln MKC Sports Utility for $269 per month, or a 2017 MKZ for $299 per month. We are proud to introduce the newest addition to the Lincoln lineup, the all-new 2017 Lincoln Continental. We have a great selection and ready for immediate delivery. Alex Karras Lincoln, affordable luxury. Winner of the prestigious 2015 President's Award, serving Florida's Sun Coast since 1978. We're located 2 miles north of the Sarasota-Bradenton Airport on US 41.
Have you taken time today to honor a veteran? We welcome back our guests now for final thoughts on this very important day. And Stephen, we'll start with you because it occurs to us that there are a lot of veterans who may be watching this right now who need help in some way and don't know how to make that first call.
Well, just so you know, over $210 million worth of VA benefits, albeit health care, education, housing, VA disability compensation, or pensions, are utilized in Sarasota County. That's what we bring into our county. Our office, we can sit with them for at least an hour of free consult. Everything we do at Sarasota County is free, veteran services. They can come in, we can get them enrolled, see what they're eligible for to make sure that they and their families utilize their VA benefits totally.
If they were going to Google that right now, what should they put in?
Sarasota County Veteran Services, or they can email us at veterans@scgov.net.
And CJ, what do you think are the biggest challenges that the veterans that you deal with are facing right now?
Absolutely, education. And if you're a veteran out there looking for assistance with your resume, we do classes every Tuesday at 1 o'clock. The VA comes in the first Tuesday of the month and teaches how to do federal applications. We do a job skills interview class the second Tuesday. The third Tuesday we do resumes, and the fourth we do mock interviews where we bring in employers and career source representatives to come in and help them. So Tuesdays, every Tuesday at 1 o'clock, if you're looking for employment, we're here to help.
And Jason, do you think that most veterans out there know that the VA is accessible, and nobody's ever quibbled with the quality of the health care there, but you know, do you find that this is such a huge area, the Tampa Bay area, that most veterans know that they could go to the Bay Pines or call their local office and get help and services they need?
Well, I think, you know, education and kind of what CJ alluded to, ensuring that they understand what they're eligible for, providing those contacts, providing those resources is very, very important, and it's a huge part of our mission. And not all veterans know what they're eligible for, but that's why it is our job to reach out to them, provide those resources, partner with our community partners.
And Jerry, in terms of helping veterans navigate the system, what should people know?
Well, I'd like to point out what I would consider a practice pointer. If you're dealing with any government agency, you should always tell them that you're a veteran. I think you'll with Social Security, they'll certainly give you a preference. And that's the biggest interface, I think, for most of us in society. So if you're seeking a Social Security benefit, you should call up and say, "Hi, this is Joe Smith, I'm a veteran," because that'll trigger a couple different things. I'd also like to say that this is our 97th Veterans Day. And I think that we owe such a debt to all of our veterans for all they've done. Our country is great because
Absolutely.
of them.
And I want to thank the both of you for serving our country.
Absolutely.
All
Thank you.
Before we go, we want to share with you what some of our viewers are saying about last night's story. As part of our Suncoast 2037 series, we looked into how infrastructure and technology will change over the next 20 years to meet the rapidly growing population in the area. Experts say we could expect to see more roundabouts and alternatives to vehicles. Stephen is shaking his head, including more public transportation and even water taxis. But here is what some of you are saying. Diane Costello writes, "So the experts say that the roundabouts will help. I disagree 100% because obviously they do not ride on the highway where the roundabouts are located. People do not seem to know what to do. They never stop for other cars." Leonard LaFlamme writes, "They are leading us from behind on this one at a time." And Diana Bianchi writes, "How about a moratorium in place for the counties so they could have the proper time to assess the reality of this mess. Well, if you'd like to join the conversation about tonight's topic, just visit our Facebook page at facebook.com/news@7. And want to watch past roundtable discussions? They're available on Apple TV, Amazon Fire, and Roku. Thank you to our guests for being here tonight. Stephen Garcia is a Sarasota County Veteran Services Officer. CJ Bannister is Director of Veteran Services for Goodwill, Manasota. And Jason Dangle is Public Affairs Officer for the Bay Pines VA Healthcare System. And Jerry Zivick is a Veterans Benefits Consultant. When we return, we'll have a look at your full weather forecast. Plus, the White House is requesting billions of dollars in the fight against ISIS. We'll have the full details coming up in our primetime headlines.
Whether you're a homeowner looking for a professional installation or a contractor looking for top quality products, Sarasota Glass and Mirror can meet your every need.
For 42 years, Sarasota Glass and Mirror has been the area's premier supplier and installer of quality glass products for your home or business. As an authorized PGT WindGuard dealer, we know how to protect your home with everything from the PGT WindGuard impact-resistant windows and doors to shower enclosures and decorative mirrors. The Sarasota Glass and Mirror team has the knowledge to tackle any project.
An important message for Americans eligible for Medicare. Are you receiving all the benefits available to you? Do you know there is money available to lower your Medicare prescription costs? Now's the time to find the coverage that's right for you at the right price. The way to do that is to explore your options. You can spend hours doing that yourself, or you can call Health Markets and let us do the legwork for you with no cost or obligation. We'll search a variety of plans from nationally recognized companies to find the coverage that's the best fit for you at a price that fits your budget, and we'll do it at no charge to you. Plus, you may be able to save money on prescriptions. We'll tell you if you qualify. Why pay a penny more than you have to for an insurance policy? Let us find you the right plan at the right price and see if you qualify to lower your prescription costs. Put our free service to work for you at no charge.
Call the number on the screen now to make sure you're getting all the benefits you deserve. Don't wait. Call now.
If you have a suspicion for harboring prostate cancer, we have a way of diagnosing by using an exquisite instrument called three-dimensional color flow power Doppler ultrasound. Using this system, we can identify abnormalities within the prostate that you could otherwise never detect. The Dotoli Cancer Center is the only center in the southeastern United States which has this technology. If you have prostate cancer, we will find it.
Now let's get a final check on our weather from ABC7 meteorologist Steve Newman. Steve.
Beautiful moonlit night across the Sun Coast in progress. 69 is the current temperature at the airport. Dew point 57, which is just refreshingly great. I love it when the dew points are in the 50s. Humidity 65%. Our high today was 82. That's a couple of degrees warmer than normal. Last night's low 59, which will be about the same tonight as well. Also a couple degrees cooler than normal. It's all being controlled, our weather right now, by a couple of factors. Here's a subtropical jet blowing across the Gulf, bringing us some high clouds from time to time. It'll be mostly sunny both tomorrow and Sunday. This front will approach us over the weekend, but by the time it gets here, most of its punch will be over. But it's going to moisten up the atmosphere a little bit. Could bring us some rain Monday and Tuesday. We see right now those gentle, variable northerly winds. That's going to be it, the key to our weekend weather, keeping it very nice. The tropics, by the way, we have a couple weeks left in the hurricane season before it ends at the end of the month, and no suspect areas. So this is the time of year we switch our focus from the tropics to the polar jet stream, which gets stronger over the winter months and controls the weather more during the winter in the northern hemisphere. And right now it's blowing off the coast of Asia, rushing across the Pacific toward the west coast, and it's helping bring in a fairly strong storm to the Pacific Northwest with a trailing cold front into California tonight and tomorrow. Much needed rain for them. Now the jet is moving up into Canada over Hudson Bay and blowing down over the eastern United States, giving us a nice cool weekend for the folks up there, but nothing too cold. In fact, temperature is up in Hudson Bay at Moosonee only 31, so that's not that cold air blowing down over the northeast. Low temperatures tonight through New England all the way back to the Great Lakes, pretty much in the 30s, and then tomorrow warming up to a fairly mild day in the near 50 degrees right up the I-95 corridor. But tomorrow night, that cold front will move further south, bringing a chill all the way down to Raleigh, 32, Memphis, 35, Nashville, 34. Now back to our Florida weather. Here comes the front, but look what it does by the end of the weekend. We continue to have northerly winds. And then on Sunday, it goes stationary to the north of us. Now, this is late Sunday. Sunday night into Monday, it'll moisten up with more rain and sag further south, bringing us a 50% chance of rain on both Monday and Tuesday. Here's our forecast. If you go to Siesta Key for the sand sculpture forecast, here it is. Temperatures in the low 80s, 82 with sunny and mild weather both Saturday and Sunday with gentle north-northeast winds. Tonight, here's our Suncoast forecast. It calls for clear skies and fresh, 58 degrees the overnight low, winds becoming calm. And tomorrow, a mostly sunny day, a mild day, a great award-winning day with a high temperature of 82, just a tad warmer than normal with those northwest winds 5 to 10 miles an hour. And here is a 7-day outlook showing that 50% chance of rain after highs in the low 80s. But once those chance of rain goes by on Wednesday, we'll dry out and pretty much more weather like we're having right now the latter part of next week. Alan will be back with some primetime headlines right after this.
Is your mop a dirty, disgusting mess? You need the Hurricane 360 Spin Mop System, the only mop and bucket that spins the dirt away. A system that cleans practically anything and everything with super absorbent microfiber. Dip it in the washer side and the mess releases into the bucket. Then place it in the dryer side and push on the pedal. You get a clean mop pad that's practically dry and ready for more. And your hands will never again touch a dirty, disgusting mop. The heads are washable and reusable. Get the Hurricane 360 Spin Mop System for just 2 payments of $19.99. You'll also get a Sticky Buddy, the reusable sticky roller that picks up pet hair and lint and washes clean in seconds. You can take advantage of our 2-for-1 Pick It Up special and get a second spin mop set. Just pay additional shipping and fee. And we'll upgrade you to free priority handling. So don't wait. Order now.
Call 1-800-394-1524 to get your Hurricane Spin Mop double offer. So hurry and call 1-800-394-1524. Call now.
Selling your home? Insist on a 3D showcase tour from Gulf Shores Realty. Virtual tours are flat and boring and look more like a slideshow than a tour. A 3D tour from Gulf Shores Realty is like actually walking through the home without the drive. Get instant access to your next home from any device. Multiple views give homebuyers a perspective like no other. For a limited time, mention ABC7 and Gulf Shores Realty will provide a complimentary 3D tour with your new listing.
I'm calling in regards about my mother, and I'm here, and I just want to thank you because it saved my mother's life yesterday. And I'd like to know the names of the people that came in and saved her so I could call and thank them. And she's doing fine. It's a wonderful thing. Thank you.
When you fall and cannot get up, an accident can turn into a tragedy. But with Life Alert, one touch of a button can get you help fast. Life Alert saves a person from a catastrophe every 10 minutes.
Life Alert is a lifesaver. If it weren't for Life Alert, I wouldn't be sitting here today.
For a free Life Alert brochure, call 1-800-652-3012. That's 1-800-652-3012. Call now 1-800-652-3012. For a free brochure, call 1-800-652-3012.
Now a look at your primetime headlines. With 2 months until his inauguration, President-elect Donald Trump and his team are planning the transition, and speculation is already underway as to who will hold key positions in his cabinet. ABC News' Marcy Gonzalez has the latest.
Behind closed doors here at Trump Tower in New York, President-elect Donald Trump working on transition plans, deciding who will fill hundreds of jobs in his administration, including key cabinet positions.
The number one characteristic that Donald Trump is looking for is loyalty. It's something that we saw over and over in the campaign, and he also wants to have a personal relationship with whoever he chooses.
The transition team now being led by Vice President-elect Mike Pence, replacing Chris Christie. The New Jersey governor, as well as former New York City Mayor Rudy Giuliani, will be 2 of the transition team's vice chairs, and both men's names are also circulating as potential attorney general candidates.
What's your role expected to be?
I have no expectation. All I do is give my advice.
In the search for a chief of staff, some speculate the list of possible appointees includes Trump's son-in-law, Jared Kushner, his campaign CEO and the former head of Breitbart News, Steve Bannon, and RNC chairman Reince Priebus, who on GMA avoided addressing whether he's being considered.
Well, I don't have any updates for you, George, on transition.
Meanwhile, Trump is also focused on how to turn his campaign promises into reality while working to build unity in our country and with foreign allies.
Mexico's president says that he's eager to work with President-elect Trump, but no way they will pay for a wall. But I think the world is waiting to see exactly what Mr. Trump's foreign policy positions will be.
And Trump also announced other members of his executive transition team, which includes 3 of his children. Some are now questioning whether their involvement while they run Trump's businesses could be a conflict of interest. Marcy Gonzalez, ABC News, New York.
President Obama delivering his final Veterans Day address today at Arlington National ceremony. He honored veterans past and present. The annual laying of the wreath ceremony. The president says after a hard-fought election, our servicemen and women can use our help to come together as a nation.
The election is over as we search for ways to come together, to reconnect with one another and with the principles that are more enduring than transitory politics. Some of our best examples are the men and women we salute on Veterans Day.
The president defended his administration's record on veterans issues, noting he has increased funding for the VA by 85%, improved access to mental health services, and cut veteran homelessness in half. The White House is requesting $11.6 billion from Congress to boost the fight against ISIS. The request comes as Iraqi troops backed by U.S. air power and advisors are locked in a fierce battle with ISIS in the city of Mosul. That brings the total price tag for operations this year to more than $85 billion. Newly released video shows the horrifying moments inside and outside the Pulse nightclub in Orlando during the shooting rampage in June. The Orange County Sheriff's Office is releasing body cam footage from the night of the shootings. The footage has been heavily edited to avoid showing bodies. Officers can be seen searching the inside of the club, circling the perimeter and laying out stretchers for the victims. Gunman Omar Mateen shot and killed 49 people inside that club before being shot and killed by officers. And that is all the time we have for this evening. I'm Alan Cohn. Thanks for joining us, and have a great weekend.